And welcome back to Puzzle Streak Ladder. So we're starting at 55 today with a 2093 rated puzzle, and this one looks awfully close to checkmate at first glance. Rook d2 immediately catches my eye because I guess white can take. What do we have after that? Mm, believe, I believe the idea is to somehow win the rook here, actually. So rook to d2 check if king takes. Hmm. Knight here check, then king here, and I think there should be a winning fork somewhere there. Okay, let's just calculate this from the beginning. Rook to e2 check. Um, Going back, I think it's just nonsense. Yeah, I mean, knight here check, and I believe here, and then checkmate. So rook here check, king takes on d3, knight to b4 check. King takes on d4 at that point. Then we skewer the king and the rook. So mm, here check. King takes knight b4 check. What if he goes here? Because he's threatening this at the end of it all. Mm, right. And here, excuse me. Pretty confident this is the move. Maybe the rook here isn't the initial move. Knight here check is also a possibility. Uh-huh. Yeah, that seems more promising. Knight here check. If he goes here, there's an immediate fork. So knight here check. His only other move is here, but then knight to c3 check. And is that actually checkmate? Yeah, I believe it is. Okay. Another case where the most obvious move isn't the correct move. Knight here check is better. So knight check. If he takes the pawn, then we fork on c5. So king to d1, then knight to c3 check, and I believe that is checkmate. Yep. This square's covered, this square's covered, and the rook covers the e file. Okay, let's play that. Goes with this. Now we just take. Okay, right. This one, it's a lot of dark square weaknesses here. My first thought is just to play this. And really, how does he stop the checkmate track? So I also saw this, but I don't think that's very productive. Bishop here is obviously gonna poke these two rooks, but he can just go back and he haven't really gained anything. Even if we take the rook after that, he's just gonna take back. So I believe this. If we sack the rook first, switch up to move order a bit, and then play bishop to D4, that's not going to be helpful because we're just up one, we just win one pawn there, and then white has two extra pawns, so doesn't really matter. I believe this has to be the answer. Bishop to D4. So then we're threatening this very nasty checkmate, and really the only way to stop it is to either play pawn here or rook here, and in either case, if rook here, right, we just take the rook, he takes back, and then we take the rook on a7 with the bishop. If he plays g4, then we just take the rook immediately on a7. Yeah, I think that should be the answer. I don't see any way out of it for white. I believe we can just play it. Okay, here we just take this guy and we take rook. Okay, this one, um, this might be involving a fork, the king and rook somehow too, but I'm not seeing it as of right now. That is this move that I notice, and I believe that's winning. You can promote though. Yeah, promotion is a pain. Therefore, I believe the answer must be queen c8 check because he has to step forward like this, or if he blocks with the queen, then rook to g1 at that point. Okay, let's just look at that. Rook to g1, and if he steps forward, we have this fork on b7, forking the king and the rook. I believe that's winning at that point because the queen is going to be on f8, and then like this square isn't. You don't have to worry about this square. Then being black pushing forward to promote. Um, so going over that again, queen to d8 check. If king goes forward, then we just take. I mean, we just fork, right? We fork, then we can't take the rook at tempo. Mm, okay, let's look at this a bit closer. Queen to b8 check, king over here, f7. That's the most testing line we've seen so far. Um, queen to b7 check. Let's assume king back, maybe. Um, we take the rook, he takes our rook, which is the issue. Okay, I think I found a refutation for queen b8. Queen b8 check, king f7. Yeah, I don't see a way forward for white there. This king can always go back even. If we ever give a check on the seventh rank, the king just go back and then the queen is going to be attacking our queen. Hmm. Oh wait, I think I get it. What if we just go rook g1 like directly? He's going to promote. Then we take their queen, and I assume he's going to step here because um, or actually he can even step to h8. Like playing like these kind of moves at that stage, it's not going to work. To g1, he promotes. We take the queen with check. I'm seeing some possibilities here with like rook to g1, pawn promotes 8 queen, rook takes queen, king goes to f8. Even then, it's not possible to play queen to f6 check. That queen can just take us at that point. I think we shouldn't allow the promotion at all. Um, because then this square gets horribly like the square loses its potential for white. This diagonal, I mean, queen here check. If queen blocks, it's all well and good. Only problem is if queen stays back on g7. What if we combine these ideas? What if rook to g1 first, pawn promotes, and then check? Actually, yes, this must be the correct answer. It must be correct because then um we're gonna probably win this queen with check. No, we're not. Mhm. G1. And he can also take here, by the way, which is something I completely missed. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I think rook G1 is definitely not the right answer now. I completely missed. He can just take on G1. Um. Okay. So let's go back to Queen B8. Um. This might be the first puzzle I get wrong. We'll see. Queen to B8, and king has to step up. And if he blocks the queen, it's pretty bad. Has to step up. He's not able to find a continuation there. I think we can safely play Queen B8. I think it has to be the correct move. I really don't see anything else here. I was debating a bit over Rook G1 or Queen B8, but Rook G1 obviously fails. Queen takes G1, so I'm thinking it has to be Queen B8 as the first move. Nothing else makes sense. I'm just going to play it and see what Black does. It is correct. But why would he block? Just noticed he blocked. Why would he do that? Now it's easily winning for white. What really was wrong with king to f7? Hmm. King to f7. Is there some really weird check I'm missing? Because if check and then just king goes back, I don't see a follow up. Okay, well, over here we know the correct move. It has to be rook g1 now. And now queen here check and just take the rook. Yeah, I'm curious. What's wrong with king f7? King f7 is a way better move. The engine seems to agree as well. I have no idea why the puzzle played queen to f8. It's just that just makes it easier. Queen to b7, king back, queen to c8 check. Put a king back. Rook here. Okay, I think this puzzle makes no sense. Queen here. Oh, hmm. What? Rook here. What if this promotes? Then checkmate. Okay. Queen here. Yes, here. And now we play. Okay, that's way complicated. And hmm, there's a lot of sidelines there. Yeah, I'm going to thumbs down this puzzle. He didn't play the correct continuation. Just king f7. Queen here, I think, is just an inferior move. Yeah, I'm going to thumbs down this one. Um, Kind of a weird puzzle, but we move on. Okay. Mm, this one, I think we try and get to the back rank. The queen. I don't see anything else. Queen gets to the back rank. I think the only thing we have to deal with is the queen coming down here. But I believe after queen check on these two, king to h1, and actually that's bad because he can continue checking. Oh no, he can't. The queen's on d2. Last puzzle kind of broke my brain. Okay, queen to e8, queen to d2 check, king here, and black has no more checks after king h1, and we're threatening all sorts of stuff on the back rank. I think that like I don't see any other move here for white initially. So I'm just gonna play it. Okay, he takes this pawn, but I think it's the same story. We just step over here, and black shouldn't be able to touch us anywhere. Yep, final puzzle session that is. So white threatens mate. Not mate, but pretty nasty check. Hmm. Okay, take the knight. What do we have? Taking the knight. He takes back, I guess. Mm. Oh, right. We take the knight, he takes back, and then that tees up the d4 square for a rook. Believe it has to be it. So after rook d4, is there any tricks white can do? Because then they do have a tempo in reserve. I don't think so. Our king's relatively safe with this knight gone. Um, right now, there's no good discoveries anywhere that I see. So believe just play it here and we win. Okay, we reached 60 with a 2120 rated puzzle at the end. Um, and yes, gonna get to the 2200s pretty soon, and that's where I can realistically start spending a lot of time, and I might get something wrong, but we're good to go for now. I'm aiming maybe we can get to maybe 100. Um, but yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure I'll get something wrong before then. But yes, let's keep 100 as our goal, and we're at 60 so far. So yes, see you in the next.